It's been a week of hits, runs, and errors in the retail space, so let's get some perspective from a man who has spent more than 5 decades in the industry. Alan Questrom's retail resume runs deep. He's known for holding top jobs at JCPenney, Neiman Marcus, Macy's, and Barney's New York, and has served on Walmart's board as well. He's now a director for the retailer At Home. Alan, welcome back to Fast Money. Great to see you.
Nice to be here.
So many people have called for the death of the department store. Here we are. We've got a few reports. Some were misses, some were hits. What's your assessment of where we are right now in this space?
I think the department store, and particularly the mall business, is going under enormous change. And I think, quite frankly, we need to see a continuous closing of stores. I would say another 30%. We have just too many stores. I think the good news that you've heard from Nordstrom, even though their business was down, they have fewer stores. I think they can put the kind of attention into those fewer stores that are needed in the department store space. The stores have got to be exciting. There's got to be a reason for being there. And quite frankly, right now, I don't know what the reason to go to Penny's or what the reason to go to Macy's is. If you go into the Nordstrom store, quite frankly, you go in, they have terrific sales associates. Their new store that they just opened has a tremendous presentation of food, which brings a lot of energy, and it brings people back into the store on a regular basis, particularly in the city. That may not work so well in the suburbs. I think one of the things you see when you see the Walmarts and you see the Targets, they have a grocery store business. That grocery store business at Walmart is over 57% of their business. That means people are coming in every week to buy. In the case of the department stores, they don't have that. People are not coming in because now they can buy it on the internet. And it's not that they have their internet business themselves, but the point is if I don't come in to buy it in the store, I miss all those impulse purchases. So I buy my bra or I buy my underwear, but now I don't come in I buy that on the internet, but now I don't pick up all those impulse purchases. That is the biggest thing that is hurting the malls and the department stores, is people are not coming into the stores as often. They're not visiting as many stores when they come in because they've already pre-planned through their iPhone.
Right.
And this has all happened in the last 10, 12 years since the iPhone has become the dominant force of people's communication today.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I have a Bloomingdale's 3 blocks from my house, and I haven't set foot there for a long time, but I have bought online. Alan, I'm curious.
By the way, you should go to the Bloomingdale's store now because they've renovated it, and I think they've done a terrific job in the contemporary side.
Maybe I'll give it a whirl based on your recommendation. Is it that the stores, that the chains are reluctant to close fast enough? I was talking to Terry Lundgren, formerly of Macy's, earlier this week, and he basically said the same thing. We're just completely overstored. I think his number was a little bit lower, maybe 20-25% of stores still need to close. Is it just that department stores don't have the courage to actually make those really hard decisions fast enough?
Well, it's a matter of giving up a lot of volume. And in fact, you may end up giving a lot of volume and a lot of profit on the short term. But remember, Walmart and Target both were willing to give up volume and profit as they put in the changes that they put in place 2-3 years ago. That has resulted in big improvements in their profitability and in their sales. And it's really about how do I make my store a reason to be? And quite frankly, right now, I'm not sure why you wanted to go to Bloomingdale's or why you wanted to go to Macy's, why you wanted to go to Nordstrom. I think Nordstrom has done a better job. If when you do go into the store, they have very good salespeople who really help you through the transaction. And I think many of the department stores have lost the touch with the people. The people are not involved with the customer. Many of them are not even trained. And that's an enormous detriment. In addition to the fact the stores are not neat and exciting. So that has to be done. And I think you can do that better by focusing in on fewer stores than they have today, whether it's 20% or 30%. It needs to be less of them. And we need to put more attention into those stores to make sure that you got the right sales associates, you got the right assortment, and you make the assortments exciting so that people want to come in and see what's new, what's different. And right now, that's not happening.
Who are the winners in this space, Alan? And do you own any retail stocks aside from the places where you've worked?
I tend not to buy retail stock because I'm in that business and I'm not always as objective. But I tell you, if I was going to buy stock, it would continue to be a Target or Walmart or Home Depot, RH, Restoration Hardware. I think he's done a spectacular job of creating new ideas and making it an exciting place to shop.
The Questrom retail basket. I want to ask you about one last thing, Alan, and that is the thing that concerns you most, because I think this is very interesting. The whole consignment trend that we're seeing with the likes of a Poshmark and the RealReal. Do you really think this could be a threat to the retail business at large?
I think it's going to be a small business. I do.
Okay.
I think if people say that they don't want to buy new clothes because it's bad for the environment, that may be a difference. But I think people still want to buy new clothes. But there's not a lot of new things out there that you think you really need to add to your assortment.
Oh, okay. So it's the merchandise's fault at this point. It's not exciting enough.
Yeah, and I think it's also it's more the people's fault because it's the managers who have to make those changes and the creators have to come up with interesting ideas.
All right, Alan, great to speak with you. Thanks for your time.
Nice to be with you.
Alan Questrom joining us from Dallas tonight. Always good to get his insights. So what do you think of Mr. Questrom's retail basket?
I like it. And first of all, I mean, it's hard to argue with Target and Walmart. I mean, Target, who needs to own, Bitcoin and other high octane? I mean, Target's been emerging cannabis. I mean, you can own Target and have the kind of returns that you've had across the board. So what's interesting is he also had Lowe's in his list of folks that have lost touch with their customers. That's pretty interesting because Lowe's just gave you numbers that were actually quite strong, even though they do. They traded a 2-turn discount to Home Depot. But I think the big box stores, you can also make an argument that there's too much competition in too many stores. And I think that the valuations here are a little bit scary.
Here on the Fast Money, we try new things, and we've recently tried something. Why are you smiling at me, Dan?
I don't know.
Dan's being so mean to everybody tonight.
What are you talking about?
But we started something called the Chart of the Week. Do you recall that, Melissa Lee? And the most recent Chart of the Week was the Restoration Hardware. And I still think on valuation, I still think that stock can go higher. And quickly, Nordstrom's. I hear what Karen is saying. They beat this quarter EPS by 18 cents. They only ratcheted up guidance for the full year by, I think, a nickel, maybe 7 cents. So I can understand maybe why the stock. I thought this stock should have been north of 40 post earnings. I was right in my assertion that you have a short covering rally. I was wrong from the level that happened. I thought it'd be from 38 to 42. It looks like it's going to be from 34.5 to 37.
Are you going to say something mean?
No, I was just saying you brought up the real, and I think that niches like that are really interesting, especially when we're spending so much time talking about overstored sort of things. There's a company that's growing sales 30% a year. Yes, it's niche, but that's going to be a feature on Amazon or some other sort of site. It's probably not going to be a standalone for too long. Great brand, and there's always going to be an opportunity for resale and that sort of thing. So I think it's interesting.